Hello, today is Friday, 4th of February 2022, and I was about to do like a series on Mars through the houses, and I thought in the light that we are going to be, well, it's Friday for one thing, day of Venus, and secondly, we're also coming very fast approaching Valentine's Day. Let's do Venus through the houses, and what better day to start this than today? So I'm just going to give you the indications for Venus, and then we go on to discuss how it is when it is in your first house. And obviously this is all using a sidereal zodiac, and the condition of Venus will be like, I'm just pretending it's got like no conjunctions, no aspects, just the pure Venus through the first house. And obviously this Venus is going to be completely different depending on whether or not it's in Scorpio or Sagittarius or Gemini, you know, so they're all different. And also the nakshatras make a difference too, because they will definitely refine that. And obviously it's not just nakshatras are 13 degrees 20 of a sign. They have 4 padas as well, so each pada is different again. So there's a lot to think about, but anyway, let's start. So I thought I'd just go through the indications for Venus. So Venus is all about balance. If somebody was to say to me, what would you just say would be, you know, like if you were to give 3 things to explain what Venus is, I would say Venus is about balance, it's about self-love, and it's about good choices. This will be how I would describe it. I wouldn't describe it like what people may think, you know, this that's why people who have got good relationships, and they, even if they were to come out of one relationship, they soon attract another, it's because they just got that understanding that they can be generous, you know, and they can see the big picture. So anyway, let's start. So keywords: love, passion, relationship, union, choices, values, obviously the arts, self-love, grace, partnerships, beauty, non-judgmental, generosity in all things, diplomacy, fairness, interaction, family, artistics, and kind of, I would just say things to do with, you know, aesthetics really as well. Fashion, cosmetics, perfume, flowers, paintings, good food, travel, vehicles of any kind. So it could be anything from a scooter, bike to car, or even an airplane. It's pleasant, it's about luxury, it's about charm, sensuality, unconditional love, expressive, social grace and awareness, and it goes on. So, and it's also, I think I would also just add, there is like appreciations of all things and seeing beauty in everything. This is when Venus is quite balanced. And as we know that in the natural zodiac, starting from Aries, it rules the 2nd and the 7th house. So Taurus, which is a fixed sign, and this sign is also earthy. So you know that Venus is obviously a feminine planet. It ruling the 2nd sign of the zodiac. It rules the face and also the neck. So it's about choices, turning right and left to actually see when is a good time to cross the road, if you like. And they know what's good for them, rather than they wouldn't make a choice. A good Venus would not go for somebody who looks good. They would just kind of think, because it rules the natural 2nd house of the zodiac, it's about family. What is this relationship a good investment for me and for my children? You know, for my values, does it add to my values? They wouldn't be straying, even if I don't know, some magical handsome guy or Adonis of a guy, or some Aphrodite will come through. This is really all about that kind of having that value. And and obviously, because it rules the second natural house of the zodiac, it is a feminine planet. When you are gracious towards feminine things, which is like environment, females, women, female energy, women, mothers, and everything else, it naturally helps kind of that respect. It could even be from one woman to other. It doesn't have to be from a man to a man, man to a woman, and actually from a man to a man. Generosity, being kind, money flows in. So I just want to add here as well that Venus is friendly with Saturn. Venus rules the second house of the zodiac, which is money, resources, and also the money, the savings that you have, money that you have in the bank account. And it's friendly with Saturn, and Saturn rules the 11th house of the zodiac. And so that again is another house of gains, financial gains. So these two planets work together really well, because in a relationship you want to be, obviously, see the beauty in the person, also be there for them during the times that they are sick, they're unwell, growing old together, being a pillar for each other, looking after, having each other's back. And this is the reason why often when people can't find love, it's because they can't love themselves. And what it creates this issue with back problems, because obviously Saturn rules your structure, also there's the sun, but it's like skeletal system. So lack of support. And this is when you can really help yourself by just starting with self-love, doing rituals to really get the Venus in your chart strong. And I always say this, planets that are really fast moving, like Venus, Mercury, Moon, and the Sun, they're really easy to get results quickly out of them. And just be persistent, but always thank God and universe for everything as well. So, and also Saturn is again brings that stability to Venus, and it shows that with time things get better as well in the relationship. So normally when you go into a relationship, the first couple of years are quite easy, and then you go through this more challenging times, because remember, when you get married, the first year is like woohoo. The second year is pretty good, you're helping each other to pay the bills and everything. The third year, so again, it becomes an upachaya, so it's a bit challenging. You have to put more effort into the relationship. And again, the fourth year can bring you more comforts, because you got the accumulation of the wealth. You might just change home to a bigger home, or you might actually buy a home together. And you might have kids after that, sixth house, there could be that you get yourself into debt, all that kind of stuff, basically. And then from the seventh house, you start traveling, all that kind of stuff. But so relationships have also go through all these stages as well. And anyway, let's go back. So second house is all about family. It's your speech. So it's always good to try and always leave the person with a kind word, and because I think people never forget your kindness and generosity, whether it's in words or gestures, something like that. It's always magical, and it's also rules senses with this, something, all those. And I really love it, because my own daughter, she's really good at this. She's very good at explaining, like when she smells something, she can really use all these words to articulate a particular sort of smell or taste or something. It's lovely, very Venetian, that is. It's also to do with what is good for me. And it also rules the seventh house of the zodiac, which is about attraction to the other, and that whole romantic thing, romance and being together, and gets your heart chakra because it rules the heart chakra, so it gets you excited, pumping the blood around your body, which is obviously Mars gets the passion going, and stimulation, interaction, going out, being more sociable, social events, in, you know, as I said, interaction again. And also it rules kind of dealing with other people, being generous and diplomatic and creating harmony with others, and you know, that kind of stuff. And also it's debilitated in the 6th natural house of the zodiac, Virgo, when it's all, everything is on the microscope. You know, you did this and you didn't do that, and last Sunday, you know, you dropped a pin on the floor or something like that. You know, it's just like really being very critical, and just knocking somebody down for something that, you know, does it, okay, some things, you know, you got to say, but other things, you know, just doesn't have to be a big deal really, so you can overlook certain stuff. And just always remember, when you're going to say something, just always remember the good things and balance things out really. And it's exalted in the 12th natural house of the zodiac, which is the house of sex and bed pleasures and good sleep, having that when you put your head down, you're just like rested, you know, it's beautiful. Also, this is the house of devotions, and devotion, God, spirituality, and the bigger picture. So that's another word that I would use for it as well, is devotion. Obviously, Venus will be very different according to, you know, as I said, the situation with it. But if it's normally in front of the sun in your chart, so it will be, I don't mean in the same sign, I mean in front. It will be much more ta-da, I'm here kind of Venus, whereas Venus, if it's behind the sun, it's more introverted, not so extroverted. So anyway, this is the bit about Venus. I'm now going to do through the houses. Thank you for watching. As I'm doing this Venus through the houses, I'm approaching Valentine's Day. It doesn't need to necessarily be because of that. I actually wanted to just tell you, I had this is Michael Mastro's and his wife Robin's book, you know, Making Room for Mr. Right. It could be for Mrs. Right too. And I bought this book because Michael, I mean, he's a fantastic Vastu expert, and he's an architect anyway, so it's just wonderful putting the two together. And he actually did Vastu for my property, and kind of remedied some of the issues, because actually this property has got so many issues you will not believe. But since then, it's been really brought a lot of happiness into my home. So, and this has got a wonderful, obviously it tells you about, more than anything, saying to you that if you want somebody, love to come into your life, you have to make room for it. So if your house or property or your flat or your room is full of clutter, you kind of like, the energy is a mess in your environment. So fix your environment, get rid of anything that no longer serves you, and start making it beautiful. And it gives you lots of different things. It's also got like a full moon ritual thing that you can do. It's also invites you to do intentions and write down exactly the sort of person that you want in terms of like physically, what do you want them to look like, financially, emotionally, spiritually, which is fantastic, really amazing. So it kind of makes you really think about what you want, because I think often people want love, but they haven't really, never really thought about how, you know, what sort of love they want. And I think right now is a really good time to start thinking about what type of love you want, because we have just been through, well, we're still going through a really difficult patch in the world, and what you thought you liked 2 years ago might be very different to what you look for now. So this would be a perfect time now to start thinking about what you would like. So anyway, it has lots of different tips. It's got beautiful full moon rituals that you can do. So amazing. And I just wanted to show you, because I love yantras. It's also got like a yantra for Venus there. which, you know, I don't know if you can actually take a picture of that, and I'm sure Michael wouldn't mind, and just print a few things, few of those, and then start colouring the yantra in whatever colour you like. So, you know, these kind of things reiterate your message of love to the universe, that's what you're looking for. And be open, you know, like do Venusian things, start treating yourself really well, and the universe will start treating you well. Thank you for watching. So Venus in the first house. First house is basically you. It's your personality, it's how you look, that kind of stuff. So when you have a benefic planet like Venus in your first house, you're clearly going to be very aware of how you look and how people see you, because, you know, Venus is all about other people as well. It's your personality, your charm, your energy, how you present yourself, that kind of stuff. That's Venus. So it will be somebody who kind of maintains themselves well. They're clean and well turned out. They probably think about, even when they go out to put the rubbish out, they don't want to be like totally scruffy, you know. They have this like public image that they need to look, and they want to express themselves nicely to the world, in a sense. Very Venusian, self-aware, gracious, socially aware. They just have this aura about them, which is like quite beautiful, you know. You just feel nice around them. They know charity starts at home. That's a beautiful thing about that self-love thing. So they are likely to think, you know, I'm actually tired, I'm going to take time out, or I need to rest, I need to get my beauty sleep. And so they look after themselves, and they like to present things. So somebody who's got really good Venus, they if they are dishing out their meal, they're going to make sure everything looks pretty, you know, on the plate. And if there is a little bit of mess, something leaked on the side, they're likely to clean it, because they just want to, they don't just see the beauty, oh, I look beautiful, but they want to present things nicely to themselves as well. What a lovely thing, really is gorgeous. So obviously they like to look good, fashionable, smell good. They love also being like in company of others. They actually enjoy that, you know, being with other people. And I think when somebody's, particularly if the Venus is strong, in a sign that is strong, or for an ascendant is really strong, they choose their words so they are complimentary as well, that kind of thing. But they would do that to themselves as well, which is wonderful. They love being in relationships. They love sharing with other people. And obviously this will be like also aspect in your seventh house. So this will be somebody who would want to attract somebody who is beautiful, but not just beautiful in looks, just generally speaking, as generous to them as they are to that person. So this is about that one. And but it is a nice kind of like thing, and I just wanted to just go through the ascendants with you. So if you have Venus in your first house, and it is Aries, so this is like second or seventh house lord, Venus in the first house. So this creates either a Dhan yoga for money or a Raj yoga. So this is pretty good. And also the other thing is as well is it's like this means that you also got your, you know, your gives you ability to have money. And second house is family as well. So being, you know, wanting to be with a loved one or with your family is really important to you. All those things are at the forefront of your, you know, you think about your family, because obviously first house is the head, and you think about being in relationships. So that is part of your makeup then. So you literally want to be, you know, very motivated about that. And also this house is ruled by Mars, and Mars is very passionate and very impulsive. So you will show people if you're interested in them in any way. If you're attracted to them, you can't help yourself but actually just going for it. You know, they're not going to like wait until you know, they get noticed. They will let the person know that they like them, they like their looks, that kind of thing. And because it's a nice creates nice yogas, and it's a good planet for them, then it is going to work out pretty well for them. And because it's also aspecting, Venus is aspecting the 7th house, and it rules the 7th house. And you know, in Vedic astrology, if the planet that rules the house is aspecting that house, it protects it, so they are likely to have good relationships in that sense. So for Venus being in the 1st house for a Taurus ascendant, so it's the 1st lord in the 1st house, which is beautiful. So it creates a really nice Raj Yoga there immediately, 1st lord in the 1st house. However, it's also the 6th house. So this, obviously, their relationship with themselves gets better as time goes on. So they could be one, you know, have that kind of sense of lack and be their own worst enemy, if you like, because they don't see the beauty within themselves. They are constantly being like criticizing themselves. I wish I was this, I wish I was that kind of thing. But with time and just like realization, their own value, things get better. And for Gemini ascendant, if Venus is in the 1st house for them, so this is their 5th lord in the 1st house, so it's really nice yoga. It is also the 12th lord. However, 12th and 8th house, they don't actually break any yogas because they are impressionable houses. So this is really nice. This is somebody who's intelligent, educated, has good purva punya, like past life merit that they're using up this time. They love children. They love being around youngsters. They naturally are fun-loving and romantic, and they literally love to be in love. And they love their children, spending time with family, loved one, and dating. You know, that kind of things makes them really happy. And also they 5th house is investments, and so they could be quite lucky with things like that, particularly if there's other things involved. For Cancer ascendant, Venus is the 4th house and 11th house ruler in the 1st house. So this could be like, I mean, Venus is not very happy in Cancer because it's not friendly, you know, because it is Venus is friendly with Mercury, so it's happy, very happy there. But with Cancer, you know, there's just so emotional, such an emotional house. But it makes them so that their mum is, you know, they got this mother who is just like very, very beautiful. They could gain a home, you know, because 11th house is gain, has a wealth and gains, gain a home through their mum. Or they could really love having their friends over, because this creates a really nice Dhan Yoga 11th house ruler in the 1st house, and also 4th house ruler in the 1st house. So it's multiple things going on there, which is really lovely. And their home could also be overseas, because Cancer is, according to say Gemini, is all about overseas. For Leo ascendant, Libra is their 3rd house and also their 10th house. So these people could be in an artistic job. So they could be singers, actors, they could be in the media, social media, they could be inspirational talkers, you know, inspirational speech people. They could also be like painters, all kinds of things. They could be in travel industry. 3rd house is all about, you know, travel as well, and that kind of stuff. I just want to go back actually into just saying about Cancer. I think I said the property. I didn't. There could also be a property abroad too. Just going back to that. Anyway, and this. So it is pretty nice. It's obviously 10th house ruler in the 1st house as well. So really nice, strong Raj Yoga. In time, things get better for them, because 3rd house is a house of Upachaya house. So their actual image at work, and their career and status will get better with time. And for Virgo ascendant, this will be the second and the ninth house ruler in the first house. It is debilitated though, so it's it definitely creates money for them, because it's like ninth house ruler and second house ruler in the first house. So it's a Raj or a Dan yoga, but actually it can be it can give a very beautiful face though. Virgo Venus is stunning, absolutely gorgeous, but they are very, very quick to kind of seeing imperfections very quickly, because there's too much bad detail, and it's a very practical sign, you know. It's not really into all the niceties of Venus. And also it could be somebody who, if it's your partner, will be somebody who, you know, instead of kind of giving you flowers, they could give you, if you like, they could take your car, you know, clean your car or something. That would be their way of actually showing love to you. It's not very romantic, but very very practical kind of thing. And so this deck could definitely bring money in, absolutely. And also obviously there's kind of a connection as well with their dad too there, because ninth house ruler, and it's also somebody who's very educated, could be a lawyer or something like that, you know. Yeah, so for Libra ascendant, Venus is first and eighth house ruler. So obviously nice that if the first house ruler is in the first house. However, it's eighth house ruler as well. So it just means that there will be a lot of changes in life for them. And they could also change their image quite frequently too. So depending on the dasha or transits, they could change their image, their hair color, the way they dress. They could be very fashionable and very, what do you call, very kind of trendsetters as well, if you like, particularly if either Ketu or Rahu have got some sort of impact on that as well. They could also be quite sexy and sensual too, or they could have a secret lover, you know. And then we have Scorpio ascendant. So if Venus is in the first house, seventh house ruler in the first house, so that will be a Raja Yoga. It's also 12th house ruler. So the same as I would say also, you know, like for Gemini, Venus is also 12th lord. So this is 7th and 12th house ruler in the first house. Unlike Gemini, this is not very comfortable position for Venus, just because it's a very secretive house. And even though it's the situation between Venus and Mars, they can be, you know, they can be quite friendly towards each other. Nonetheless, though, it's a secretive house, and it's a house of holding on to emotions. So letting go of relationships will be difficult. 12th house ruler in the first house, and their partner could be from faraway lands, foreign person. Or it could also be somebody that they meet at work, because seventh house is also an indication of work too. And then we have, but it's a Raja Yoga on the ascendant, which is quite nice, and it will obviously aspect seventh house and protect Taurus. Then we have for Sagittarius ascendant, this will be 6th house and 11th house ruler in the first house. 11th house ruler in the first house is good for gaining money. 6th house ruler in the first house, again, you know, kind of it's a difficult Dushtana house lord. It's not a good planet for Sagittarius ascendant. So there could be some issues with health there, thyroid issues, kidney issues, things to do with Venus. But this is the Venus that you don't want to be like overdoing with exercise and poor diet. There needs to be, like, in order to overcome those issues, particularly in relationships, funnily enough, you have to really kind of have that kindness to yourself. And it does get better, Upachaya house lord, so that it does get better with time. And for Capricorn ascendant, this will be like the Yoga Karaka planet on the first house. So it's really nice yoga. It protects the first house and also aspects the seventh house, which is nice because it'd be like a Yoga Karaka planet aspect in the seventh house. So it does bring multiple good things. So this will be the 10th Lord in the first house, 5th Lord in the first house, multiple Raj Yogas and Dan Yogas there, and also aspect in the seventh house. So it is really good, and it's definitely going to be good for education, work, that kind of stuff. And this will be a very artistic person, by the way, very creative, very, very good. Intelligent too, because 5th Lord in the first house. And then we have the same as for Gemini, actually. That's 5th Lord in the first house, of intelligence in the first house. For Aquarius ascendant, this will be the 4th house ruler as well as your 9th house ruler in your first house. Again, lovely Dan Yoga, lovely Raj Yoga. Gain a property through dad. Yoga Karaka planet, also aspect in their 7th house. Very nice, very similar to the Capricorn ascendants. Nice, you know, really happy. You know, it rules the 4th house of happiness in the first house. So it's really gorgeous. And for Pisces ascendant, this is 3rd and 8th house ruler in the first house. So, and he will be exalted there. So this will be like somebody who will do well expressing themselves, very creative, very expressive, very generous with their words, with their they'll be great writers actually, and it will also be a very transformative life. And they will have this massive interest also in astrology and all kinds of things to do with self-help, healing, crystal therapy, that kind of stuff. They will be just naturally very attracted to that, and they would also want to learn all the time because of the 3rd house too. And again, a Pachaya house lord, so it does get better with time. Thank you very much, and I shall see you soon. Thank you.